there. Let's move up a weight class to the middleweight division, 185 pounds, where we've all been waiting for the return of Georges St-Pierre. We don't have to wait. Well, we do. We just still don't have a date on the fight. But they had to wait literally 30 minutes for the champ, Michael the Count Bisping, to show up today. And when he did show up, he started throwing haymakers on the mic towards GSP. Is he going the Conor McGregor route now to really rile up his new opponent and or the fan base here? I'm not quite sure what to make of the Count these days.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely part of it. And people were speculating, had he been drinking? I don't know if he was drinking this morning, but the MMA awards were last night. I was there. I spoke to Michael Bisping. I can assure you he was drinking last night. He was not, I don't think I ever saw him without a drink in his hand. So
Right.
God bless him. He's still recovering from surgery. So, I'm not bagging on him, believe me. I'm just saying he was enjoying Vegas. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's part of it. I think he's sort of living this free spirit. As he's in, look, it's a combination of things, right? Like he doesn't have a fight right now. He is recovering. So he's a little bit in here in Vegas and party mode. Two, I think he really relishes being a champion, sitting atop the weight class and looking down on the peasants. I think he likes that a little bit. And also, like, he was always kind of a brash trash talker, but he's that plus an elder statesman. He knows the game. And so what I mean is, like, look, he's got this fight left and maybe another one after that. He is, part of my language, I won't say the curse word, but he is all out of F's to give. He just doesn't care anymore.
Right.
So he's going to go out there and he's going to say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do. He's going to show up 30 minutes late, although I think that was accidental, but you get the idea. He's just going to kind of, march to the beat of his own drum, and he's earned it to an extent.
Yeah, you're right. I think he really is enjoying the Count as being the champ here. GSP, of course, maybe the best champ we ever saw at 170 pounds, going up to 185 for this fight. Again, we don't know exactly when this fight's going to take place. He says right now, believe it or not, even being outside of the octagon for over 3 years, that he spiritually, physically, mentally, that he's the best version of Georges St-Pierre. And we don't know because we haven't seen it. Do you buy what he's selling, that we're actually going to see a better GSP?
I do buy that it's possible. And I don't mean that. I mean, like, of course it's possible. But here's what I mean. Ring rust doesn't affect every fighter every time. It just affects most fighters most of the time. And it affects elite fighters typically a little bit less than, say, rank and file. Now, that's imprecise, but it gives you some idea that, for example, a guy like Mayweather, when he was active, could take long breaks between fights and look like $1 million when he went in there to go compete. So you wonder, St-Pierre, sort of a similar guy, especially for a guy who's been continuously training during this time where he has not been actively competing. And keep in mind, Randy Couture, after getting knocked out by Chuck Liddell, comes back after almost a couple of years, I believe, and smokes Tim Sylvia and wins the heavyweight title. Like, it's just weird how some of these things can happen. But here's what I would say, though. On the other side, he busted his other ACL in his time off, so he's had 2 surgically repaired ACLs. He is aged. He wasn't competing, so I think he saved himself a little bit of wear and tear insofar as taking shots to the face is concerned. But I'm a little bit skeptical of the claim that this is the best version ever, especially, by the way, for a guy who didn't want to go to middleweight because of some size concerns. Now apparently he doesn't have them. I'm dubious.
I'm just glad. Hopefully, we see more Nos Active commercials now that GSP is back.